Hello and welcome once again down onto the Tech Desk, and in today's video we are going to be going through these two. Okay, so these are the Choc controllers from a company called pbtails. You may have seen them on Amazon. I'll leave links down below where you can have a look at these, because I've got these two. They do loads of different colours. My personal favourite is the grey one with the black with the red buttons, which I can see myself getting at some point. But these are the two that I've got that I want to show off today. So there's a lot to love about these. These aren't just like because let's be honest, they're a different shape. They look a bit different. They look a bit gimmicky. They are not a gimmick, okay? There's a lot to love about them. A couple of issues you might want to consider before purchasing, but I'll go through that. And I don't think it's enough to stop you wanting one of these controllers. So we'll start off then. We'll start off with the unboxing, then we'll go through the kind of like connecting it. I'm going to be connected to my Switch today. It's not just compatible with the Switch, also the Steam Deck PC and iOS. I've got my Steam Deck here, which I'll go through with the Steam Deck, and but mainly be focusing on the Switch. And then we'll just talk about a couple of the things you might want to consider if you're going to be purchasing one of these. Okay, so talk about the unboxing then. This is the box it comes in. Fantastic Choc wireless controller. Lovely. Nice big open so you can see it, because its unique feature is the way it looks, isn't it? And the kind of like the shape of it. And inside you get this. This is the instruction manual with hello in all different languages. And then there's your comprehensive instruction manual, because there's quite a few features on here. It's not just a controller, it does other bits and bobs as well, which I'll talk about. And you also get yourself a half-decent USB Type-C cable. I use this one to charge stuff, so I don't really need this one, so I kind of keep these for Sunday best. But as you can see, it is branded with their logo, and it says pbtails on there. That's nice. It's not just any old USB-C cable that they've thrown in. They've actually thought about it, so you get yourself a nice cable. And then when you take it out, obviously, look at it. It looks brilliant. It is unique in its design, okay? So it says in all the kind of marketing gump, it has a nice 45-degree angle for use. Yeah, it's not the most comfiest controller, but it is fine, okay? It is tiny. The way that I've been thinking about this, the way I want to describe this was, if joycons were a controller, this would be it. Okay, so if the joycons suddenly decided, you know what, I want to be a controller, it would turn itself into this, because of the size, which I'll talk about in a second, and the thumbsticks, because I think these thumbsticks are identical to the ones on the joycons. Again, and I'll be talking about that in a bit. So on the front then we have the D-pad, in the 4-button D-pad like we've got on joycons. We have the minus, screenshot, home, plus, and we have a turbo button there, an X, Y, A and B. You'll see with all the different controllers in the links for Amazon, they have all the different colours of controller. All of these buttons might be different colours. My personal favourite is the grey and the black one, so these would be all red. And the D-pad is like a regular D-pad for that one with the cross, not the buttons. And then if you flip it this way, you'll see that there's the 4 LEDs there for the connection and kind of a pairing status. And then on the top there we have L and R, L2 and R2, and if you see, they are side by side, not on top of each other. Okay, and then we have the USB-C and we have the pairing button there. So when you're holding it like this, you're pressing the buttons. You need to either reach forward or do as I do, is just hitting it like that. So let's talk about the buttons then. So the top one here, as I said, you need to be reaching over to touch these like that. Didn't have a problem, to be honest. It was okay once you get used to it. So obviously when you're playing with a Pro controller, so this is my Pro controller here, and you've got your triggers on here. When you're pressing the triggers, you're moving down like so. With this one, you're not doing that. You're kind of staying still. Right? Your fingers aren't really moving. It's just clicking like that and then clicking with your fingertips like so. You have to get used to it. It's not a problem, but you will need to get used to it. And then the buttons over here. So let me grab an official. So this is an official Joy-Con. If you can see, it is identical in size. Okay, these are exactly the same size as these. It is almost like they have just cut a bit of these out and plonked them on there. However, when you press these ones, there is a little bit of feedback. Okay, so an official Joy-Con, it kind of almost clicks. There's no click with these. It is just a button press, nothing more. Okay, just a button press. And then moving over here with the X, Y, A and B, again, identical size, okay, and placement, almost to the millimetre of where they are. And again, They are quite clicky. They've got a definite click to them. This one's haven't. It is just a button press, okay? So don't expect too much for feedback. But if I'm honest, it doesn't really matter for me. It was okay. All of these buttons, the plus, minus, home, screenshot and turbo, they're all quite clicky and they are all flush to the body here. So they are quite flush if I show you that. Apart from the turbo, you can see the turbo just comes up just by about 1 millimeter. But you're never going to be pressing them regularly. They're okay. So let's talk about the thumbsticks then. These thumbsticks are brilliant. If you like the thumbsticks on the Joy-Con, you're going to love these. I have been trying to compare these for a long time, and they're exactly the same. Okay, so we'll talk about the dead zone. We'll go and use the controller in a bit. But if they feel the same, they are exactly the same size. They feel the same. They protrude up the same amount. They look the same. For all intents and purposes, these Joy-Con thumbsticks are these, okay? They just feel the same. And like I'm saying, if Joy-Cons wanted to be a controller, it would turn into this controller. And then, as we said, we've got the USB Type-C on there. If we plug that in, it will start charging. It charges in around 1.5 hours, and you get about, I think it's at about 15, 16, 17 hours worth of play out of this. I haven't tested this because I've never really run out of battery on it, because I'll always put these on charge most days. But 15, 16 hours worth of play is really good. Pleased with that. And now if we talk about the colour, size and the shape, the most obvious thing about this is the shape of it. And we've talked about comfort a little bit. So let's talk about the size. So if I measure it width-wise, you're looking at around 12 centimeters wide by the most, and the top of that button, without pressing the button in, got about 8, let's get that right, about just over 8 centimeters. And then this as well, look how thin it is. So if I just do the case itself, about 1.6 centimeters, and then with the Joy-Con, about 2.3 centimeters. So it is tiny. Okay, but there is a difference. So I've been talking about this one mainly because this is my main one. This is the one I use more than this one, and the reason is this one is a metallic shell and this one is plastic. So let's get the scales out and measure them. So this is the metallic one, this is the plastic one. I mean, you can really feel it when it's next side to side. So 135 grams. 84 grams or 85 grams maybe. 85 grams, there we go. Okay, so just put that into perspective. A couple of Joy-Cons, 100 grams. So we're looking at 85, 100, 135. So these kind of sit in the middle. Personally, I prefer this one. I just like the extra weight. It just feels a little bit more solid and it just feels a little bit more quality when you're holding it than the lighter version of the plastic one. So let's get it connected then. So I've got my switch here. And the way you connect it is exactly the same way. So you kind of just turn this on and then you'll be going into the Joy-Con menu. So if I just put these on like here. So you'd be doing this, going into the Joy-Con menu, going into here. And then you would be pressing the pair button. Now, what you do with the pair button is you hold it down and it flashes. Keep holding it down and it flashes even faster. And then it will pair up with this. And mine has already paired. So I've already done the pairing process on that. So to wake it up, you can just press this button here. Or any button, sorry, and it will start looking for something, okay? It won't connect to the switch if you just press that. And that is one of the negatives that I was talking about earlier. So it's already fired up. Okay, so your battery is being wasted just by firing up. Not by much, but it's still turning on. So if this is in your bag, you're gonna be pressing any other buttons, it's gonna start searching for stuff, okay? It won't connect to anything unless that device is on. So for example, you've got your Steam Deck and it's on, and you start pairing it, it will connect to it. Or if this is on and it starts pairing, it will connect to it. But if it's off, it won't. What you need to do is you need to press your home button. So when you press the home button, it starts searching for it. And there we go, as you can see that it wakes up the switch. And then other couple of functions as well. It has vibration. This is another one of the negatives. The vibrating is a bit sharp. It's a bit... I have it off, okay, so I don't have the vibration on this. It's a bit too sharp for me, but you can adjust it if you want. You just hold the turbo and press plus. And can you hear that? This is the maximum of the turbo. I'll put it close to the mic so you can hear it. Too much for me, so hold that down all the way, and I don't have vibration on, so no vibration for me. And then we have the turbo button, and the way you press the turbo button is you press turbo and X, and there we go, we've hit turbo on the X. So if I go into my system settings here, and all the way down to test input devices, test controller button, so if I hold down A, got nothing there, but if I hold down X, there you go, it does the hold down Y, nothing, hold down B, nothing, hold down X, it does the turbo, okay? And then to clear the turbo, you just hold that down for 3 seconds, so 1, 2, 3, press your minus, and then your turbo's gone. Okay, simple. I never really use turbo, but that's a function there as if you need to, and you do have to hold it down to do the turbo. I couldn't find a way of getting the automatic turbo done. Okay, while we're here then, is if we go and look at the control sticks. Okay, so let's do this one. This is what I'm saying about exactly the same as a Joy-Con. This is exactly how a Joy-Con behaves. Right, so I'm gonna need to hold this up here just so make it easier for you to see. Okay, so I'm gonna use this controller. Okay, so look, as soon as I move it, we've got movement, okay? And then if I push this to the side, there, we're at the side, no more movement, okay? When it hits the edge of the screen here is when you hit the edge of the thumbstick. Okay, and then nothing there, no stops at all, nice and fluid all the way around. Like I'm saying, I can't tell the difference between an official Joy-Con thumbstick and these thumbsticks. There's not much movement in them at all. And then while we're here, we'll look at the left one just to show you. Again, exactly the same all the way around. No more movement once we get to the edge. So slowly, let's do this. Slowly, edge. And then we're at the edge here on the thumbstick. So let's just put the switch to one side. I'm going to switch to this one now because I've had this paired up to my Steam Deck. And if I kind of press home, okay, you're not going to be waking up the Steam Deck. Okay, so the Steam Deck, let's turn this on. There we go, we've paired. Do you remember what we were saying about so turn it off and this will go off. There we go. If we've got this on, you've got the Steam Deck on. If this is in your bag and this accidentally press any of these buttons, boom, like that, so it just kind of like touches your thing in your bag, it will turn on and it will connect. Okay, so it's not like the Switch where you have to press home, but it couldn't accidentally turn on. Now, that's an issue for me a little bit in that it might be in your bag and you might accidentally press it. It's not a huge issue, but if you have a look on Amazon, they actually sell a case for it. Now, I'm going to be buying myself a case for one of these because then you could literally just put it in the case and just throw it in your bag. It is so tiny, it is perfect for traveling around with you. And the way you connect this to anything on this Steam Deck or on your PC or anything is you're just holding down the pair button. So you hold it down till it flashes and you keep holding it down till it flashes really quickly and it will show up in the Bluetooth menu. This can be D input or X input and you're able to switch that by a couple of, it says in the manual, of a couple of button presses, and you can swap between D input and X input, which is a nice touch as well. So one final thing then, the reason we've got this one out is another tiny little negative as well. It doesn't half rattle, okay? So if I bit this up to the mic, can you hear that rattling? That's because of these triggers here. So the L and R, L2. So because if I hold these like these, hold these in place, and I rattle it, nothing. Okay, it just doesn't seem. It doesn't feel like it's really good quality when it does that. Now this is the metal one. It doesn't do that. But this plastic one doesn't. So another reason to get the metal version over kind of like the plasticky one. So I think I've been through most of these controllers. I've been using these now for a couple of weeks and I find them fantastic. You have to get used to them, but I just think the unique design, the size of them, I can 100% see myself collecting these and just keeping them on my desk because I just think they look so unique. And there are loads of different styles as well. Like I said, I'll leave links down below where you can go and have a look at all the different styles. The grey one with the black one and the red dots there with a case is going to be a purchase of mine in the near future. Okay, I hope I've covered everything with these. I'm really impressed with them. They look gimmicky. They're not just a gimmick, but like I said, there's a couple of really small negatives that I don't think you need to worry about in it. If you've got a Switch and you want something to throw in your bag, get one of these with a case, stick it in your bag and take it travelling with you. I think it's brilliant. Okay, I hope that's everything then. Do let me know if you've got any questions down below. This has been the Choc controllers from pbtails. Really worth picking up if you're after something a little bit more unique. That's it then. Till the next video, please do like, please do subscribe. Till the next video, bye bye.